Well, hello there, and welcome to the start of the second half of the season, round 5 of 8, coming to you live at Tokyo Expressway East Outer Loop for the ARC Gr.3 Season 5 Championship. I am your commentator, Savvy, and what a better way to start Mother's Day here by doing this race, actually. So, like I said, I've been Savvy, and joining me in the booth is Chili. How are you doing?
I'm not gonna lie, the way that you introduced that, I thought
that was quite cringy, wasn't it?
I thought you were going to introduce me as the mother of ARC or something. I was very, very concerned about where that was going.
I forgot to say you are the your mother's favourite co-commentator.
I'm the mother hen apparently. Now. Yes. We're at Tokyo. It's gonna be certainly an interesting one. We'll talk about the track in a minute, but I believe we'll just cut to the hot lap first, and Inman will take us round.
Yep, so here's a hot lap.
Welcome to Tokyo Expressway, East Outer Loop. Fictional track, actually based on the real streets, the real expressways of Tokyo. This 4.5 mile lap is mostly populated by this incredible, iconic front straight, long enough to get fully up to speed, no problem about that. Uphill into turn 1, braking at the 100 board. Uphill, so you've got to be very cautious on the entry, stay very tight. Wide out, getting very, very friendly with those barriers. Downhill after turn 2, and then we come off the junction, back onto the expressway. This is a fast, twisty, bumpy middle section of the track. Very important to keep high speeds up through the section, and dirty air will play a huge part here in the race, especially coming into turn 5. Braking at the 50 board, very bumpy on the entry, and a little crest on the exit, so you can't run too wide. And then we come into the flat out turn 8. Only just flat if you get really friendly with the barriers. Turn 9 is a little lift, uphill on the entry, so you've got to modulate the throttle very, very carefully. And then into turns 10 and 11, braking at the 50 board. Slightly cambered, so very, very difficult, and then make the most of the entry into turn 11. Flat out on the exit, get very, very friendly with those barriers. Then we come off the junction, back onto the other side of the expressway, down to the horrible turn 12 hairpin, braking just before the 100 board. Very, very tight on the entry. Double apex, make the most, sliding out of the corner there, make the most of the track available, and then back onto the front straight as we come just into the tunnel to finish the lap of Tokyo Expressway East Outer Loop.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is a lap around Tokyo East Outer Loop. It's the first time it's been on the calendar. The last time we raced at Tokyo was back in Season 3, where you participated on this. But this is obviously quite different to the one that you raced in Season 3.
Yeah, this is one of the other layouts that it's a very Marmite layout, I believe. It's... Obviously, it's categorized by the stupidly long straight of the start-finish straight, but the width of the track allows, easily 4 wide down there. The middle sector is obviously pretty much single file. It's a very, very high-speed track. There's not many low-speed corners. I mean, the only one really is that last hairpin. So it's going to be certainly an interesting one. As you say, we've never raced here before. We don't know what's going to happen. Similar to Alsace last race, we've never raced there officially before, but obviously it threw up one hell of a race. So,
and also
fingers crossed.
You also mentioned about Alsace being like Monaco. I think this is pretty much like Monaco, but a hell of a lot more faster. There's no runoff area at all. If you run rides, you're going to be tasting that wall.
It's high speed Monaco. It's Baku almost in the F1 calendar with the way that straight is. So it's a new challenge. That's what we want to see. We want to see drivers challenged. It's not an easy circuit. You make one mistake and you're hitting the wall.
Yeah.
So it's going to qualifying is just going to be a test of who has the biggest cojones as they go around this track, and who can, you know, scrape those inside walls as little as possible, but obviously maximizing the track to get the fastest lap times.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh,
go on. Sorry.
I was just going to say that there are corners on this track that you'll end up taking too much on, and it'll just spit you out. The track isn't cambered at all either, so it makes it very, very difficult to keep the speed through the corners. And if you don't have a planted car through that middle sector, you'll just be understeering into the wall, and it will absolutely destroy everything that you've worked for at the start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it's going to be very, very interesting.
Very much so. We'll talk more about the track, but before we do, we're going to get on speaking about the drivers' points. And there's been some changes now, because we're into the second half of the season. Drivers that have been promoted up a tier or down a tier and that. So I think we'll show you how the championship now looks, and you'll see there'll be some different drivers now in their different categories. And as you can see there, we've now got 6 drivers in the plat tier, because Stephen has now promoted himself into that class, where he was a gold tier driver for the first 4 races. So as you can see, this is how the championship looks at the moment. Alex, we've now included the drop scores now, and as you can see there, Alex is on for a perfect score at the moment. Inman is in second place officially. Then you got Stephen, who had that tremendous battle with Inman last week at Alsace, and now he's up a tier, and he's sitting third in the championship ahead of Kofi, and then Trey Gamer, and then Agoto in 6th position. And then in the gold tier, we did have 7 drivers in that. We told you about Stephen. He was, as you can see, he's moved up, and you had Ben MK, but he's moved down a tier now. So there's only 5 drivers in that, and you can see that Law is leading the way ahead of Rascal, Gianni, Randy Moore, and Kobu. And then in the silver tier class, it's actually very, very close there with Jerry Bear, Predje, La Bomba Negra, Martin, and Ben MK there. That seems to be a very close group there. And you can see there is too, on where it says total, both Jerry Bear and Predje both have the same amount of points. But when it comes to the drop scores, Jerry Bear is ahead by 15 points, because you can see in race 1, that's where the drop scores count. Now, something else has changed now. There's been a load of bronze drivers. So I believe it's Techno Guys changed it about. So as you see there, we've got 2 tiers of bronze drivers now. And Alex Tanier, as you can see, is leading the way. And don't forget, last week he was a copper tier driver. Now he's been promoted up to the bronze tier, and he's already leading the championship, only by 12 points to over Lateral G. And then Gr.3, who we saw last week at Alsace, Pro Magna, Chris, and Keanu, who we also saw last week. So in the bronze 2 category, the CP, and I think you said as well, Havoc DK, he was in the steel tier category, so he's jumped up 2 tiers, hasn't he?
Yeah. So he was way outperforming his steel tier quota. So interestingly enough, we'll get on a bit more how the tiers were worked out and reshuffled, but the bronze 2 drivers all agreed to be in bronze 2. We spoke to them and asked them whether they wanted to move up into bronze 1 or whether they wanted to stay in bronze 2 and have their own tier, and they all said that bronze 2 is where they wanted to stay. So that is why we've had to split those 2 tiers, because that's a 13 in 1 tier, and that's getting to the same size as the tiers previously, and that was kind of the opposite of what we really wanted to do with this new tier system in place. So it's a little bit confusing, but this was the best sort of compromise that we had to satisfy all the drivers and make sure that, again, the battles are as close and, you know, as competitive as we want. Yeah.
So, actually explain that thoroughly there. So you got the CP leading the way by only 5 points over Havoc DK. The Furious 2, then Goofy, Wily Coyote, Baldy One, and ARC Dive Bomb. So I mean, that's still pretty close through there. Although Dive Bomb has missed a couple of races too, so he's a little bit out of the equation. For the copper tier class, Thunder Pig now is the championship leader with the Alex Neo's promotion, if you will. Why Not Sean, the Finnish kid, he's down a tier because he was in the bronze category. He's now down to the copper tier. Then you've got DD Ranger, Combe, and Matty, which he's only done one race, which is a shame. So
his PlayStation is still, unfortunately. So I don't think we'll be seeing Matty for the rest of the season unless we get very lucky.
Oh, that's a shame. So yeah, that's the copper tiers. And for the steel tiers, oh, what's happened there? I was going to say the steel tiers. Oh, there we go. There we are. And in the steel tiers, you've got Eternicus, Antibiotic, Gr.3, Undone, Venom Snake, Julies, and Nixon. Nixon getting his PS4 finally fixed. And now we can go to the reserves category. If we can. If we could. Reserves category? Is it on? Oh, there we go. There we are. So there you can see there that West is still leading the way, despite only doing 2 races, as well. Mermaid in second, as well, doing 2 races. Kevlaro in 3rd, Darth in 4th, CMR Dominguez in 5th position, but he's only done the 1 race. Fubar in 6th, Techno Guy in 7th, but we're not sure if he's racing tonight because I heard he's a little bit under the weather. Josky, Julie's, Rakiri, and WR Metcalf, and the original J-Boy, new to the championship, and he is in 12th place. And also, I think it's what I mentioned there to Alex Gaming. He's making his debut this race, so hopefully we'll get to see him either in qualifying or in the race, and then all the other drivers that have yet to start a race this season. But you know, we've still got another 3 more races to go after this. Oh, and over to the team standings there, and it's a lot more closer as it is now. Zent Team 7 Performance is now still leading the way, but the gap is now shortened now to only 84 points over Kerry Goat Racing. Alien Hunter Racing still sitting in 3rd place. Manchester City Motorsports on, and this is actually quite close, 4th to 6th there. Man City Motorsports, Victoria's Secret, and Glitch Gr.3 Racing only separated by 7 points, as you can see on the screen. So that's all quite comparatively close. Comrade Cowboy Racing in 7th, I believe. 8th is Charity Racing. Benny Jerry's Racing in 9th. Team Tiger Kings in 10th. But the team standings look quite close. If Glitch Globetrotters can have like a great outing here tonight, and like the other teams above them sort of falter, they could actually go from 6th to leading that after this. Yeah, very close.
It's very, very, very close. The drop scores and everything's still working, so that's nice to see.
And then you can see the mid-season table overall. This is just all the drivers that you're seeing on our screen. So you can see that Alex is leading the way, Inman, Stephen, Kofi, Law, Rascal, etc., etc. So there you go. That's all the drivers that have currently raced so far throughout the 3 lobbies. And we are going to get qualifying very, very soon. I do believe we are going to be seeing the Lobby B drivers.
Yes, Lobby B tonight. You know, it's our new way of introducing everyone into the community. So obviously we've done one run through of each lobby. So it's background now and Lobby B's turn, which will be very interesting because obviously this is the mosh pit where everyone's everywhere, and no one can predict who's going to be the quickest in Lobby B. You get a sense in Lobby A. Lobby B is a different animal altogether.
Yeah, just speaking about this for the qualifying, it's going to be hugely vital because slipstream on this track is key around this track to get yourself a good qualifying, or even to get into the main event itself in Lobby A and get yourself streamed. So it's going to be interesting how the Lobby B drivers are going to do, if they're all going to go into like all come out together. And you know, I definitely feel sorry for the person that's going to come out first because he's going to be a sitting duck, especially on that long straightaway.
The important thing to remember, and the drivers need to remember though, is that whilst yes, the slipstream's going to be very strong and very powerful here, obviously giving them good times, bump drafting is outlawed. That is not something. That is something outlawed in the rules. And importantly as well, if you overtake someone on a hot lap, that is also against the rules, and you will receive a penalty for the next race. So with the slipstream only being 0.75 of a second away, the drivers need to make sure that they don't catch up the car ahead and give themselves enough space, because obviously they will get all that slipstream effect along the straight, but then they'll be right on their bumper for the rest of the lap, and that can lead to some very interesting circumstances if they're not careful. So the drivers still need to separate themselves out and find themselves a gap. That obviously the best way of doing it would be gapping to the car ahead, knowing that they're slower than you, catching them up as you drive round, and then on that final straightaway then use the slipstream as you come to the line, because obviously then you won't overtake them on a hot lap. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the drivers handle this. Again, it's a completely different dynamic to what qualifying is usually like in ARC. They do need to be careful on their toes and make sure. Obviously, I guarantee you, I can predict it right now. That final corner is going to be a car park because no one is going to want to go first, and no one's going to be wanting to be the lead runner. However, that might be actually a positive, because if you see it all parking up, get that clear air and just go for it.
We don't want to see like another Monza 2019 in Formula 1 for sure. Anyways, qualifying is underway, and I think the first one to brave it out will be Magna, and he is driving for Alex's team. And he's driving the Beetle. He really talked about the corners around here, so we were talking whilst in the hot lap, and I think there's one very annoying corner, and it's the corner that Crow's coming up to, turn 1. I hate it. I really hate it right here, because I always seem to park the car in the middle, and as you can see there, Crow's just scraped the wall.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because you've been at full throttle for so long down that straight. Your tyres get cold, I've been told by the drivers. If you're on the mediums, obviously qualifying, you hopefully be on the softs, but on the mediums, as you come to that corner, they do genuinely get cold. So your braking point is affected by that. Plus, you need to spot your braking point after driving flat out for about 40 seconds. And if you're not careful, you do lose sort of your whereabouts. If you're not paying attention, you don't realise how quickly you've approached turn 1. And at that point, it's too late and you're in the wall.
Yeah.
The other important thing as well is that because it is a street circuit and it's motorways, there's lots of barriers on the inside, obviously to stop people from, in real life, crashing and causing incidents on the road. So it's really difficult to actually spot your apex as well, because there is just a wall in the way. You can't see the inside of the corner, so you've got to turn in and just believe it's there.
Yeah, just a few seconds there of Lateral making his way through the track as the other field are making their way to start their first flying lap. Tributes livery for Lateral, as we just seen. That is because he's raising awareness for the situation that's happening in Myanmar. So good on Lateral for doing that. Obviously, you'll be quite happy not seeing the Man City colours on that car.
It's for a good cause, so I won't make a joke out of it this time. It's an honourable thing that Lateral is doing, and I believe that Rascal is also running the livery, which obviously we hopefully will see him in Lobby A when we stream it. The issue is that the reason why it's close to our hearts is because Rascal, his family lives in Myanmar, so we hope that they are safe and well, and obviously we send our thoughts to them. Obviously we'll try and put on a nice show, try to distract as much as we can, but we always will honour someone in the community when something bad's happening, and Rascal is under a lot of stress right now, so it's appropriate. Yeah,
and just making his way through the tight trusty section. Looking now at Martin Brewer. Now this could be an advantage here for Martin and that lot, because Martin and the Baldy, as you ride on board with them, because they're teammates, so they could actually work together here around this track.
Yeah, they have a small advantage there with them being teammates, but it'll be interesting to see whether they can make the advantage pay off and potentially get 1 or maybe 2 higher up and into Lobby A.
We have seen Martin before, but he did drive Sedegna A. Was it A or was it B? I forget what layout it was. A, yeah. Also, so just to mention too, don't forget this. Give this race a like and give it a subscribe too. We are quite a few, not a lot of subscribers away from reaching 400. I think our target is to reach it by the end of the season. So you've got like another month of that happening. There's a look then at La Bomba Negra now, and now you can see, look at the power of that Aston on that straightaway, right in the toe of Crow. So Martin's going to get a blistering speed there of a 158.213. And then the Baldy one, Wiley goes second place in that Toyota Supra. And then you got Jerry Bell in fourth now, because Latro has stuck his special livery in second. So he's just shy of 7 tenths, just battling side by side with the original J-Boy, who made his debut in this championship a week ago. He's currently sitting in that 6th position. Down that long straight they go. Now they... someone else has gone. Predji's gone to the point now, 158.0.
Pred is, I've been told that he's the one to watch in this, because he's in that Supra, and the Supra's very strong here. So I think we'll be seeing another Pred special jumping into Lobby A. Even without the slipstream, I think he doesn't need it. He'll just get there by himself.
Oh, well, there's Dave Bomb there making his return to the championship. Then just looking through the other drivers. The Boulder one in 10th, Gr.3 in 11th, followed by La Bomba in 12th, and then Chris down there in 13th place. Keanu in 14th, and there's Van der Pig in 15th place. So loads of Toyota Supras out on the track here. Yeah, it's definitely going to favour these cars, as well as Stephen too. So watch out for Stephen, he could be a threat, as well as Pred G. Well, of course, they're both in the same team, of course.
Yeah, there's been a, I wouldn't say upset is the wrong word, it's just lack of a better word, but more of just a concern from everyone saying that, you know, the Supras have such an advantage here that it's going to be difficult to make it. But that's the part of the choices of the cars at the start of the season. You know, they've stuck with the Supra throughout the first 4 rounds, where it probably was pretty weak. To be fair, I don't think the first 4 races really lent to the Supra now, or well, but now it's coming into its own. This is its specialty track, and they're reaping the benefits of sticking out that difficult period at the start of the season. So.
Times are being changing then, as you can see on the left side of there. Lots of movers and shakers now. Lato's gone back into 3rd position. It's now Jerry Bear in 4th. Van der Pig's got up into 5th, with Wiley Coyote in 6th. We did see the Baldy one go up to about 3rd place, but now he's already dropped down to 7th place. And we saw Crow go up to about as high as 4th. Now he's down to about 8th position. And there is the Baldy one. Just a second behind Predji's time. Riding on board with your current pole sitter. Still, the gap has actually shrunken now. Martin improved on that last lap, but still not good enough to beat Predji's time. As we've got 3 minutes to go until the end of this session. Making his way through Sonny in that annoying first corner, and then into towards turn 2. There's the original J-Boy just ahead. That's Sonny in. This is Sonny out, and now this is when the real momentum starts kicking in. As you see, as you say, Chile, it's just a single lane groove around this part of the track. Very fast, very flowing.
Obviously, you want to pick out the path of least resistance, but it's very tricky. Obviously, that corner there's blind. It's very difficult to spot it, and obviously, it's a very fast left-right chicane, so it's very easy to hit that outside wall. He seems to be catching original boy here a bit of an awkward time. So, will J-Boy get out of the way? Yeah, he will get out of the way. So,
good awareness.
Pred's good on this lap for him. He's still purple, and he's catching cars up ahead, so he might actually do the thing that I mentioned. He catches them for the slipstream down across the line.
Yeah, timing is everything, pretty much. This dive bomb moves out of the way. So who's that just ahead? Is that the finished kid there?
Finished kid
that's
of one.
Martin's off the track. Martin's off.
He may have made a mistake.
Fujiwara hairpin there for Martin. At least going to have at least 2 more laps if he can get going again. Red G still purple, but not that quick. He did lose a little bit of time in that last sector. Not that many, but he can still improve. see what this lap time could be. Can he go into the 57s? It's going to be very close, you know, and just doesn't, but he does improve by half a tenth.
I think Pred's eking the most out of that car that he can get, clearly, otherwise he'd be a 10th, so I think he needs that slipstream in order to break into the 57s.
Now looking at lateral, still there, yellow flag's being waved there. Who's that going off there? Possibly a turn 3 at Bullet. Oh, and it was Crow. Crow's just going off there before Ice actually stopped the car. I think he's just gave up now. So Crow's done. Now then in towards the Nippon Bridge, we go right on board with Lato, and he's already nearly half a second down, so he's not going to improve. Through the Nippon Bridge.
Oh, he's really pushing that car around. You can see it's sliding. He's got that Citroen hooked up. I'm very impressed with the way that he was handling it. So this is where the Citroen is better. Oh, as he scrapes the outside wall, that might have lost him even more time. You see on the split.
Yeah. Oh, he's actually gained. He's gained
yeah,
like 2 tenths there.
He did, actually, to be fair. So his fastest lap must not have been fantastic through there. So that's very interesting to see that. And if he can nail this hairpin, maybe he can gain even more.
Well, then going through turn 11, the Fujiwara hairpin. He'll probably go down to probably at least second gear through there. Careful not to get the power on too early. Let's see if he improves his time there. It's still roughly the same. I don't think he's going to improve, so it could be third place then for Lateral.
We'll just have to wait and see what the other lobbies do now, and where all the times slot in as the drivers cross the line for the last time. So does Lateral improve?
Don't think he will, because it's a long straightaway. No, he doesn't. He lost time.
Yeah, he lost time. So he must have set that lap with slipstream, otherwise he wouldn't have lost that much time. Martin's sideways?
Yeah, Martin's sideways. Is that off of... That was like nearly 10, going into the turn 11, I think that was.
Yeah.
Looking at the Bomba Negra, he's gone to second place now. So the AMG driver, La Bomba, making his play right there with a nice qualifying effort. To look then at Wiley in 8th position. The car's just stopping in the middle of sunny in and sunny out. And yeah, that was a surprise effort there for La Bomba. We hadn't talked about the EMG, how quick they are around here, but looking at that lap time from La Bomba, that's a pretty solid effort.
Yeah, it's a very good lap from him. I didn't think that the AMG would be that strong, but it's done him well there, hasn't it? He's got up all the way into second, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether he can make it, as everyone's getting penalties now as they overtake under yellow flags and everything.
It's Keanu there in 14th place, nearly 2 seconds off of the pole position, and Chris being 15th and last. So there you go, that's the end of qualifying there. Predgy pole position. Yeah, I think it's going to be quite tough to see if a Toyota driver can... be outdone now.
So I do believe that the Lobby A drives have been set in 57s. So that 58 flat might be enough to get Pred into the bottom of Lobby A, but I still think that the higher Lobby drivers are faster than that. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. The one thing that I did notice is that Chris was down in 15th, I believe.
Yeah.
That Hyundai is not good here.
No,
it does not like its straight line speed. So it'd be interesting to see what laps Kofi's producing in Lobby A. I think he's going to struggle with that car. But I have to say, the drivers managed it very well. It was very clean. There was no incidents. You know, drivers getting it out of the way and everything. So, well done, everyone. That was a nice little quali session.
Indeed. Just wait for the race itself, which will probably happen. We're hoping about 20 odd minutes to go, and I think the race in itself, you know, since it's because we're under the lights, you know, cars seem to have like a little magnetic attraction for one another, so to speak.
Sorry, what was that? My internet cut out there.
What did you say? No, I was just saying that because we're racing under the lights, because it's the night race, and you know, racing cars do have a bit of a magnetic attraction for each other, don't you think?
Yes, they do end up taking the same space on the track. So it's gonna be very interesting and see how they battle through the circuit. Oh.
So we're just going to be waiting to see what the qualifying will shape up. But before we talk about the qualifying and the results and that, I want to mention about one thing what we heard about yesterday, and it's because it was a bit of, we heard some very, very sad news, that Murray Walker is sadly passed away, and he was the voice of Formula One. He was a guy that I idolized while trying to do commentating, because I loved his energy, I loved his enthusiasm, and when I heard the news that he passed away, it really saddened me. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's never great, or it's never. I mean, he lived a great life. He's 97, and he always said, that he was the luckiest man on earth, being able to, he was picked up from nowhere, managed to tour around all the different countries, go to all the different places that he went to, and just do what he loved. And that's obviously commentating on cars and racing. So obviously I'm too young to have known his commentary, and I didn't really grow up with his commentary in my life. But you always see on clips, highlight clips of when Damon Hill won his championship, the BTC stuff. His voice was iconic.
Yeah,
the way that he had the ability to just get his passion and for motorsport and the love of the drivers just across in the way that he spoke was an ability that I haven't seen or heard personally from anyone. He's definitely a legend of motorsport. Yeah, that's the great thing about him. He didn't even do one discipline. It's not like he was dedicated to Formula One. He did every single motorsport in existence, basically.
I'm sure he did a stint doing rallycross at one point, I believe.
Yeah, he did, and he was always up for a joke. He was always up for. So, one of my favourite things is that Pizza Hut advert that he did with Damon Hill. It's so silly, and it's so just a great to see the fact that he knew why people loved him and how people loved him, and obviously he went on that, and he kept going with the with all the jokes and everything, and it is sad, but 97 is a great age.
Yeah. It's what my mum says. He lived a good innings.
Yeah, it's sad. Of course it is. There's no denying that it's sad. And again, it's similar to when the motorsport fraternity loses someone. It is always upsetting. But I think it's important to remember, just how many people he was listened to and connected to, and
that was certainly me,
and got them into motorsport, because he was iconic. He was the voice of Formula One. And even when he came back in 2008 and did a brief radio commentary for the European Grand Prix at the Nürburgring, that was fantastic as well. He did that when he was nearly 90. So
2008, he would have been in his late 80s.
Late 80s, so nearly 90. So that's pretty impressive. He still kept going all that time. So,
and obviously he was there to witness some of the most greatest actions in there, like the incident with Senna and Prost at Suzuka, and then the year later, and in '97 with Schumacher and Villeneuve and that, and just some of his Murrayisms was so hilarious. I posted something in one of our streams, which you can actually join, by the way. You can join in our server, our Discord server, to see what we get on and have a chat and whatnot. But I posted something about with the BTCC up in '92 when he was commentating at Silverstone, and like it was John Cleland and Steve Silver with his battered BMW, and then we were on board with John Cleland giving Steve Silver the middle finger, and Murray was saying, "I'm going for first."
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
It's
absolutely
brilliant. It never fails. It never fails to make me laugh. That line was
it's
fantastic.
Just so iconic. It's just
because again, to have that wit and have that ability to just pull those words out without saying, "Oh, that was not very nice from Cleland." There, you know, it's one of those things that's like, to be able to think on your feet and produce a line like that, and again, it's iconic. And it just worked with his voice. His voice was what made it work, and just the excitement and all things like that. Whenever I've watched historic races and stuff like that, hearing him always put a smile on my face.
Yeah, indeed.
And you just knew that even if it was a boring race, he would make it fun and interesting and have a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
So. He will be missed. Of course, he will be missed.
I think when he was in the paddock there, I can guarantee you, any mechanic, any person that was in the Formula One paddock when he was commentating, they can't say a bad word about him because he was so well loved, and you know, he basically touched every racing fan's hearts with his insight, his in-depth, his energy, his enthusiasm, and it was like a breath of fresh air listening to him commentating too. It was such a, you know, to me it was such an honour listening to him, because I first started watching Formula One properly in '97, and it was just his voice. It was just so, as you say, iconic, and you know, him and Martin Brundle in the booth, you know, perfect duo, wasn't it? Perfect duo.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I only ever started one. I believe the first race I watched was 2004 Monaco. So I had.
Yeah, James Allen.
James Allen, and then obviously Martin Brundle. So I never got that experience from Murray Walker, but I can understand why everyone loved him. Yeah,
and he loved watching the British drivers, of course, because you know he was British too. Seeing the likes of like Nigel Mansell and Damon Hill, when he says, "I've got to stop because there's a lump in my throat," when Damon Hill won the '96 championship. And I remember another Murrayism about with Nigel Mansell. He was mentioned about him working his way out through the field. He said, if I can remember correctly, word by word, he said Nigel Mansell was up to third position. He's come up from 7th to 6th to 4th to 5th and now to 3rd.
Yeah, and the thing is, most people would be in the commentator role would be crucified for making a mistake like that.
Yeah.
But he was adored for it, and I believe that, you know, commentary is not easy. It's not easy at all to try and think of, and I'm trying to get sympathy from you guys here, so please give me sympathy.
And me too as well. Yeah, it's definitely not easy.
It's not. They make it look so natural. You know, I see Crofty, Brundle, and Murray, you know, listening to them week in, week out, and I go, I could do that. And then you get into the booth, and then you're just like, I have no words here. I need to think of something. I need to, you know, and then you stumble, it makes it worse. And we're doing this in front of what? 4? I mean, however many subscribers we've got, 372.
About that,
the number of people watching the stream. Obviously, everyone likes to watch the stream after the race. Some people just like to focus on the race. So, you know, that's only hundreds, a couple hundreds of people. And, you know, that makes me nervous. So them lot doing it in front of millions, you know, but again, to have that ability to be loved by everyone is fantastic.
Yeah. Can I also mention one more thing about Murray? Another funny moment there was when he was interviewing, I don't know if you see this as well, Chili, but when he interviewed Nigel Mansell, I can't remember what race it was, but it was when Nigel Mansell had a bump on his head. Do you not remember that?
Yeah.
It was like, I've just noticed that you've got a rather nasty bump. Can we actually see that? So Nigel takes the cap off and he prods it with the bump. He's like, oh, I'm sorry.
the thing,
absolutely brilliant.
and the thing about it as well is that Nigel Mansell always was known for his rude streak, let's say. You know, sometimes he could not be very nice, but he was fine with that again because it was Murray Walker. It was. So what more can you say? There's nothing more you can say. He was a great person. The world is worse off without him, but
yeah,
at least we had him for the time that we did.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I think you couldn't say it better myself then. You know, like I says, there wasn't a bad word to say about Murray because he was just a genuine gentleman and he was well loved by everyone in the paddock. Yeah, and like you says, he's going to be sorely missed. You do see, we always mention about if there's like fatalities in motorsports, he's going to be sorely missed. But I think with Murray, I think he's definitely going to be missed by everyone, as well as the likes of like Sid Watkins and Charlie. Oh, what's his name? Charlie. Yeah, I think them three are going to be hugely missed.
See, that's the thing. It's a changing of the guard now. It's now evolved into the way the juggernaut that it is that Formula One is. But they will always be known as the founders of it. Basically, they were what made it capable to be where it is now. So, and that gives us, I mean, personally, as a sport that I love. So, yeah, that's it. That's all you can say. There's no more words that I can say because I would run out. Like the dictionary can only, define fantastic, amazing, there's only a certain finite amount of words to describe him. So, yeah. I'll probably end up sneaking some in tonight, potentially.
Yeah, we should try.
As much as possible. But who knows? When the race happens, it's all living on your wits and living on the edge again. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready for this race. I'm excited. It's going to be certainly an interesting one. Again, I have no idea what's going to happen here, and that's great. That's what I want.
It's pretty much got the permutations of Monza last season. I think it just certainly is. With the long straightaway, the fast corners, it's going to be a massive train going into turn one. It's going to be like that throughout the whole race. Is our voices going to stay intact? Probably not. No. But, it's going to be hopefully for an entertaining race. So we'll just keep an eye out on there. We just heard from our producer that qualifying is going to be extremely close, so I cannot wait for that to see. Mad close. The words of our producer. And I'm trying to find it in the chat, but I cannot find it.
So before we can cut to the times, I'm just gonna jump in with the strategy.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, so we're going over now to Chili's strategy corner. So Chili, what's the perfect strategy and what not, as we're looking at lemon plane flying in the air?
It's different this week. I've been told from multiple people, multiple sources, it's a one-stopper. And that makes total sense when you think about that half the lap is a straight line. So, apparently the softs are viable to start on. Because that middle sector, you can break away from the slipstream train. And then you're on your own at that point. And you can run your own race and you're not getting caught up and tripped over by other cars. So personally, in practice, and when we were choosing the tracks for this season, I jumped on this track immediately and to see what it was like. I drove the softs for 20 odd laps, and that's only when they started running it. So someone genuinely could not change tires this race if they really wanted to, and they'll struggle at the end, but it's whether they'll gain that time, not being on the mediums and stuff like that. So will someone roll the dice like that? I don't know. A very similar thing to what happened in the MX5 Championship that everyone started doing, where they didn't change their tyres as well. So it's I don't think it's going to happen, but that's certainly an alternate strategy. But it's pretty much going to be a one-stop from everyone this race, and just save as much fuel as you can in that slipstream.
Indeed. I was going to say something, but I've completely forgot the life of me what I was about to say. Yeah, all right, that was it. So do you think anyone, because we've seen the strategy, everyone seems to be going for the mediums, obviously for the two stops, medium, soft. Do you think people will possibly start on the softs, like maybe a load of people will go on the softs? Or when they make their pit stop, they'll go like start the race on mediums and then go to the softs? Will someone like brave it out and go for softs on the first stint?
Well, that's the thing. That's the idea is they genuinely could and get that advantage through the twisty section, because again, it to be able to carry more speed through those corners is so vital for this track. So if they can break away from the slipstream chain and run their own race, that's very beneficial for them. So we will see. Some guys last week, obviously, Alsace decided to run the softs at the start, and I'm so grateful they did, because I've been wanting them to do it the entire season. But it's whether obviously anyone else feels brave this time out. So I hope so. I genuinely hope so.
Yeah, it might have been a bit of a disadvantage there, because Agotto was one of those drivers that started on softs, but he qualified deep in the field, also with the inclusion of having that penalty after, unfortunately, lagging out at was it Laguna Seca, or was it the second race? I can't remember exactly. Sedegna it was, wasn't it? Yeah. It was the second race where he lagged out. So, I mean, if you're qualifying up at the front of the field, do you think you'd go for softs and try and pull away from the distance? Well, obviously, I don't think it will be, considering the straightaway, isn't it?
Well, I would. I'd try it. Personally, I would, yeah. But that's obviously that's the game.
Yeah.
Who wants to, you know? So that's my advice for the strategy. We'll try and keep on it as the race unfolds and everything, but we'll see what happens.
You said that when you was going to start the race on softs, and again, people probably get annoyed by me because I keep talking about that Monza race, but if you remember back, Stiggy, when he started the race, he was on soft tyres, and all the rest of the years was on the mediums, and he didn't pull away, he didn't drive off into the distance.
Well,
so
with
that player
back then it was different, because the slipstream was 1.5 seconds and it's halved the distance now. Plus, and that's not really, a negative towards Stiggy, but that was the only race where he was up there. So I don't think Stiggy had the outright pace that the other drivers had. And that played into their hands a little bit, So it's not, again, that's not trying to put Stig down or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's more just a case of, had it been another driver up there, I think they may have been able to utilize them a bit better, and maybe the pressure of the occasion got to Stiggy a little bit. Who knows? But the important thing is the slipstream is completely different now. The way that the slipstream works is completely different. So again, this is the first time that I've seen such a slipstream heavy track on the calendar. With the new slipstream, should I say? So I can't predict it. I genuinely can't predict what's going to happen.
Yeah, indeed. This is, of course, the first of two races that we're racing over in Asia, because next week we're at what do you call it again? Kyoto. Yeah,
Kyoto. Yeah.
So here we go. Qualifying results are in, and well, Agotto in the Porsche, 3 temps quicker than Stephen. Has the Porsche had some sort of massive update or something? What's going on there?
Well then,
I can understand how the producer says it's mad. I can see why. Agotto in the Porsche on the pole position. Hold on a minute here. Is there a drugs test here? What is going on there?
Right. Can we get the stewards down there to check that car? Is he has he stuck some nitrous in that? Like, what is that? How has he done that? What is that lap time?
In the name of God, what is that? A 157.1 in a Porsche on a straightaway that's 1.9 miles long.
I mean, okay. you just gotta stand back and say fair enough. You know, that's unbelievable.
I mean, I could imagine the Porsche being nice in the second half of the track, but to be honest, wow, I'm blown away like you was with Alex's tyres last week at Alsace. Deary me, what a lap time for Magotto. Anyway, Stephen, second place. Kofi in the Hyundai in third.
We should have watched Lobby A this week.
We should have done.
But yeah, wow, fair play from Kofi as well.
Fair play Agotto is. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, Brasco in fourth, Inman fifth, Halleck sixth, Pred G in the Toyota seventh.
There's that Pred in seventh then, and Bomber sneaking in there.
I think that equals Pred's best qualifying because he qualified seventh last week at Alsace again, I believe. Yeah, and Martin in ninth, and Lateral G. We will be seeing that livery in the main event.
He's made it into the highest lobby. Hooray!
He's made it.
Congrats, Lat. Well done.
Kurt 666. He's just brand new into this championship. I think he passed the rookie test. I believe it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and he's made the big show. Look at that.
That's very impressive from him. And Jerry sneaking back into Lobby A again, the fourth time in a row now. Yeah,
fourth time in a row. Yeah, indeed it is. Yeah, he'll probably message me on he'll PM me on Discord saying 4 in a row, baby, or something like that. And there you go, Alex Tania. We were talking about him being promoted up from what was it, copper class. And now he's into the bronze tier championship, and now he's now in Lobby A. Look at that.
Yeah, he's really improving and gaining pace at a scary rate. So he might need to be readjusted at the end of the season as well. At this rate,
it could be platinum by the end of the season. Yeah. Watch out for Alex.
Keep going, Alex.
Yeah, Kevlaro round out the field in 14th. Let's have a look at Lobby B. And you see there, ARC Law not making Lobby A. That's going to be huge there.
Make it. Wow, okay.
Unbelievable, yeah. 150. That Aston. I thought that Aston would be quick around there. Thunderpig will start second in Lobby B. Then it'll be Cro Magna, Gianni, Wiley, Randy Ball. A couple of drivers we've seen a lot in Lobby A. They've not made the show. Goofy, then that's a tongue twister there. Goofy, then Goofy. The Furious 2, the Baldy one. Alex Gabin, I talked about him. He was making his debut in this championship. Havoc DK, Kobu making a return. Unfortunately, not making the show in Lobby A. DD Ranger, Ben MK, and the CP, who I believe is leading the points in bronze tier 2. I'm just wanting to see what it was only 300s between Kevlaro to Law, and then into tier C. Antibiotic will lead the field over the original J-Boy, the Finnish kid in third, Dive Bomb fourth, Etericus in fifth, Ugerti in sixth. Seventh is Keanu, but I mean, look at that! What a difference that was a week ago. We saw Ugerti and Keanu in tier A, and now they're racing in Lobby C.
Yeah, they just clearly didn't get the lap nailed as they went round. So that's unfortunate for them. But I'm sure they'll still have the time difference between all of them in that lobby is tiny. So it's going to be a very, very good race for Lobby C.
Yeah, indeed. You've got Chris there in 8th. You were mentioning slightly about Chris, kind of struggling there. Why not Sean in 9th, Fubar 10th, CMD in 11th, Julie's 12th, Rakiri 13th, Venom Snake, and Nixon just a close 22 seconds off the pole position. So there you go. I am absolutely surprised there with Agotto on the pole position in the Porsche. Like, I'm genuinely surprised by that.
Yeah, I mean that's impressive. He must have been able to stick in the slipstream. There's no other way about it. And then obviously because of that, through that middle sector, that Porsche is alive. That's where its territory is. So I think Agotto has perfected his run there for that lap. So yeah, fair play.
Indeed, yeah.
I did not expect that at all. I thought Stephen was slam dunk for that pole.
Yeah, slam definitely, but not in this case. Now, and again, genuinely surprised about McCulphy, because you were saying about that Hyundai is not good in the straight line, but he's popped that on the second row of the grid.
Yeah, it's again fair play to all of the drivers who have the weaker, I say, cars for this track. You know, that grid is still pretty standard as we go.
You know,
so
I'm not gonna lie, it feels like it's a pretty topsy-turvy grid. I'm not gonna lie.
There are a few interesting, like Law not making the A is
indeed, yeah.
I spoke to him during the week. I was hoping to bring some interviews from Law and from Google this week, but for some reason I recorded them and then they corrupted, so I lost all of that footage. But Law was not particularly looking forward to this, purely because the Aston used to be great in a straight line, but it's not anymore. It hasn't got that grunt out of the corners, so it was certainly he was concerned about this, but I don't think it was going to be that concerning to the point of not making Lobby A. So
maybe it was just him. I mean, he was saying how negative he was about Alex is not going to win this race, and look what wins Alsace, and look what he did.
That's true, yeah. but Alex, this race is only in 6th. He didn't qualify that high at all. So I think the Aston was maybe the Aston is not very good here. I'm surprised about that. I thought the Aston would have been a pretty decent choice for this race.
Yeah, and it was actually nearly 9/10 slower than Agotto too. That's I don't say that'd be kind of concerning for our championship leader. I mean, that's just typical of Alex. He'll qualify because I think I'm gonna bring up his stats here in TR3s, because I believe that will be his 17th race, and I mean he's only got 2 pole positions still to his name. So I mean his qualifying pace isn't the greatest, but race pace he'll be something else.
Yeah, I mean this is I mean, the important thing to remember as well that we do implement drop scores into the championship, so it's not the be all and end all if this was a bad result for someone, because it just won't count towards their score at the end of the season. But honestly, I really wouldn't be surprised to see Nuggy fight his way through in some form. He to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins it from there. He'll pull some magic, and then we'll be like, "Oh, great, he's won again." and
Law will be surprised in the GR3 chart as well.
So
of course, Alex is going for 4 in a row, which is what Lemmy did back in season 2 with the first 4 races. So he's going to try and tie that record. So it'll be interesting to see if Alex can make it 4 in a row, or will someone finally dethrone him of top spot.
My money's still on Stephen this race. I cannot see how he's not going to win in that Supra. That Supra is so strong. Here, it's his to lose, in my personal opinion. But we'll see. As you say, it's a bit topsy-turvy, but at the same time, there is a bit of a status quo. So it's very to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this now. I want to see the likes of what Kurt can do, Lato can do, Alex can do, Kevlaro can do.
Yeah, we've got quite a few of Lobby A debuts here. Yeah,
definitely so, and it's going to be the foundations of an exciting race. It's got the ingredients. They've just got to show it on the track, and it's night racing. Contact's going to be inevitable.
Yeah, hopefully not too much, because we like to have a clean run. But
yeah.
Going into that turn 1 again, if you're not paying attention and you make that slight mistake, it's game over. You've got nowhere to go. The one thing that we aren't going to see this is corner cutting penalties. It's very difficult to corner cut on this track when it's just wall. So at least we won't have issues with corner cutting penalties. So everyone should be really, really close.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. You're talking about Lato. You were saying about if he can make it into Lobby A, which he has done. I think that would definitely make Rascal very chuffed to see that livery in the field, because you were saying about with
both of them are in there, but
yeah.
and Rascal both fourth and 10th. So yeah, I mean, perfect time to put that livery on, eh? Gets the most coverage it can. So I mean, laterals. I didn't think laterals lap was going to be good enough to. So I'm shocked that that the cutoff is in the mid 58s. I heard other things. I thought 7s for Lobby A. Yeah, I mean, he's done a very, very good job there.
I'm just still looking through the field here. Wiley's had a good qualifying. He was going to start 5th in Group Robbie B, and just talking about with Lobby A, I'm going to interested to see how Alex is going to do. I can't mind exactly what car Alex is driving. Can you remember?
He's in the Lexus, I believe.
Oh, so we've got a fair few Lexus in the field. You got Rascal, Inman. I don't know what car Kurt is driving because he's new to the championship.
Well, yeah, we'll have a nice little shock there, a little surprise.
Yeah. Oh, Jerry Bertu and Alex. So you got at least roughly 4 Lexus there. Kevlaro's driving the Peugeot, isn't he? He's
yes.
Is he a reserve driver?
Kevlaro's in the Peugeot.
Yeah. So you've got a Porsche, then a couple of Toyotas with Stephen and Predje, Kofi in the Hyundai, Alex, Martin. There's another thing. Martin actually quite better than Law. Right, yeah. Surprising. Yeah. So a couple of Astons in there, a couple of AMG. Yeah, this is just, heady up, Lobby. Let's just see some racing there.
I'm excited now. Like, come on, let's get this going.
The hold up? We've been waiting for like half an hour. We're running out of stuff and things to see.
So. I think there's admittedly there are some instabilities currently with the game still. So we're just making sure that everyone is connected, can see each other. Obviously, last week we had the issue with Argotto and who was it? Trey.
Oh, Trey.
Trey.
Trey gamer.
Couldn't see each other. So we're just making sure that everything is tip top as well, because something like that happening at this race is not the best. It's going to be quite dangerous. So we're just taking extra precautions this week. As much as we're joking, we just want to make sure that every driver is connected, can see everyone, and that everyone can have a fair chance at this race. So hopefully that's not going to take too much longer than usual, but it's Gran Turismo. It throws up so many unexpected issues that we just aren't prepared for. So we can only hope.
Indeed.
Come on, Savvy. You can't just like go. That's not good content.
See, you know what? Do you know if Murray Walker was like this, everyone was like, "Oh, we still love him." If it's Savvy, come on, heady the fudge up. Come on, see something.
You're just gonna make the chat start hating you now. It's not gonna end well.
Oh, I hope I'm not hated anyways now. But,
it's all in jest, Sammy. Come on. I would like to say though that I'm going to try and do the interview thing again this week. I don't really know why they corrupted. It's a real shame because me and Laura had a very, very nice chat. 15 minutes long, so I probably had to edit it down. I probably had to edit it down a little bit
for the stream. With each other,
yeah, no, that was the first message he put. He said, "Let me go get a coffee," and we. So, I think if we could, if drives are interested in next week, was nice to just talk about the way that the races were going, find out their goals for the season, how they're going to take the second half of the season. You know, whether their strategy or their tactics changed. And it was nice actually speaking to Gr.3. You know, he's new to the community and everything, but we don't get chance to speak to those lower lobby drivers, and it's nice to see what their experience is within this community. So genuinely, it's not just for the lobby A drivers or the top tier drivers. That's not what I want here. I'm willing to chat to everyone and ask everyone questions. So just literally send me a message if you're interested, and we will, hopefully I won't corrupt the footage again, however I manage to do it, and we can play some nice interviews for next week. What I do plan on doing as well is doing almost like a big supercut of all the interviews and potentially uploading that to the channel, just as some almost a podcast type thing, you know, where it's just talking to as many drivers as we can. Obviously it's more laid back, you know. Obviously after the race we speak to drivers, they're all pent up and pumped up from all the driving, so
all the adrenaline,
all the adrenaline.
ARC, yeah.
Damn, I should have got that.
See, on the ball. Even though I can't forget anything, I'm still on the ball.
There you go. That's why we have you, Savvy. So yeah, I think it's just nice to have a chat with people and find out, you know, more behind who they are and all that stuff, and it's a nice little thing to have, I think. So if I can get, you know, 3 or 4 drivers speaking to me next week, and I'll put together all together in one big video, and then I'll link it in the chat when it's done. So just thinking of more ways for content. And
okay, right, cool. Well, I hope we do get a podcast, because I was asking for right. Anyways, we're getting ready for the 5th round of the championship. Let's get the starting grid underway then. Agotto, Stephen, Kofi, Rascal, Inman, Alex, Pidgey, LaBomba, Martin, Lateral, Kurt, Jerry, Alex, Kevlado. There you go.
I think you missed that one, buddy.
Did I? Oh, for crying out loud. Again. Is that 2 weeks in a row? I'm disappointed.
Unfortunately, Savvy. Like, I think you're 3-2.
Just a bit out of, but anyway. So we're gonna get that thing. Oh, also Rascal's also sponsoring that livery too. We didn't notice that. I thought it was just
no. I mentioned that. But
oh, did you? Oh, okay.
They've almost made their little team there with that little livery. So
let's look at the top 14 drivers as it currently stands coming into this race. It's Alex, Inman, Stephen. Well, Stephen's name's got to be changed because he's not Gold Driver no more. And I think that's just probably it. I think there's only just one change that needs to be done in now. Yeah, I think so. But then you can see how the drivers look then overall in the championship. Now then, let's see what tyres all these drivers are starting on. Is anyone going to go for the softs the first stint, or are they going to all go for mediums? So let's see what the poster has got. And he's got softs. He's on the softs, as well as Stephen, as well as Kofi, Rascal. Yeah, look, do you know, it looks like it's going to be softs all the way. Oh no, La Bomba's on the mediums, so he's the first to go on the medium tyres. Martin's on the softs. Laro's also on the softs. Mediums for Kurt, and he's driving the Toyota as well. Okay then, mediums as well for Jerry. Softs for Alex, and softs as well for Kevlaro. So about 3 people starting race on medium tyres.
I mean, we've got a good mix there. There's a couple of people on the alternate strategy, so they'll obviously go a lot longer than the soft run in the first stint, and we'll see what happens where that all plays out, and obviously whether they can then make their way back through the field after the pit stop. So who knows what's going to happen. I did not expect the Porsche on pole, so good luck to everyone.
Yeah, indeed, this is going to be hopefully race of the season so far at this rate. So anyways, you see there, bottom left there, join our Discord today, link is in the description. You're more than welcome to join us. Don't forget, give this race a thumbs up, and also if you could, if there's anyone that's new to this, give us a subscribe, because we want to get to 400 by the end of the season. round 5. We've got 8 races of the season, so you've got plenty of time. Someone's scraping the wall already. You don't want to be causing too much damage on your car. That might have been Stephen, actually. See the cars, and again he's doing it. Get careful, Stephen.
Yeah, he almost lost the car there. I know he's warped tires, but that's you don't want to lose it on the formation lap.
God, just imagine if that was real life. He would have been retired already.
Yeah,
he would have been completely red-faced.
But that shows you even how tight this circuit really is. We've gone from the wide of Alsace last week to the tight confined walls of Tokyo. So even on the formation lap, people are scraping the walls and making mistakes, and that's going to be interesting to see whether they do it in the race.
Yeah, this track is going to be very intimidating for overdrive, especially on the first lap when they're going to start going into double file and then into that sunny end turn 1. There's going to be people that's going to be scraping the wall. I'd be so surprised if anyone doesn't. So here we go then. The field goes in to double file formation, and then Agotto can dictate the pace when he can go, as they will go underneath the bridge. And then, in the words of Buddy Walker, in the first Formula 1 game, 1995, the season, the very first racing game I ever got, and it is...
It's a very long lineup.
It is. Very long. And it is... Come on, Agotto. And it's go! And away they go for the 5th round of the championship. Agotto leads the way, as always. And now, what can Kofi do against Stephen? Hyundai versus Toyota on the straightaway, or down this 1.9 mile straightaway. Let's ride on board now with Inman, getting a tow from Rascal. Obviously, that'll be Lexus there. So it looks like Stephen's caught napping off the start because he's already lost 2 places. Now, Lagotto's going to lose the lead down to Kofi in the Hyundai. Free abreast going into its turn 1. This is going to end in tears. Keep it nice and clean. Kofi into the lead. And Rascal has gone up into 2nd place after starting 4th position. Looks like everyone's made it through. Free abreast, don't go through. Sunny out. More scrapages along the wall. The bumper's off into the inside wall. Look at the mess from 5th on back.
I believe.
Look at this. The free abreast going into his bullet turn 3. Sorry, I cut you off again.
No, three wide into turn 2. Didn't end well for
Stephen. Stephen's the big
way
loser
back
over
to
that.
7th. Yeah.
Yeah, 2nd all the way down to 7th place, but he's got 45 minutes to work his way up through the field. Still more contact, and through the Nippon Bridge they go. And now making their way in towards AMT. That is turn number 7. And Halleck's down to 9th position. He's not made a good start. He's fallen down 3 places. Inman's made a good start. Up from 5th, up to 2nd already in that Lexus. But it is Kofi in the lead, followed by Inman. The post at Agotto, 3rd. Rascal stays where he is and qualifying in 4th. La Bomba in the AMG up to 5th position. And Martin, we did see him as high as 4th in Sedek. There he is in 6th position. And he was just picking up the pieces where everyone was messing up at Sunny out.
Yeah, so a fairly clean first, purely because it's Tokyo. Obviously, going 3 wide through here is dangerous and as scary as it. I mean, the big losers out of this are Stephen and Alex, but they'll manage to climb their way back up the order, I feel, and I think Pred's down in 13th, so he's lost out massively as well.
Pred,
he must have been he must have been caught out by a lot of it at the start. So,
and he's battling with Jerry side by side now, so fighting for the silver tier championship as well as that. On board with Inman, careful not to be bump drafting Agotto there. In fact, Agotto's actually passed Inman, so Inman's lost a spot. And Agotto in that Porsche. Porsche is looking really quick.
He's pulling away from Inman. I don't know whether Inman was fuel saving a little bit there in the slipstream, but that's
quite possibly. Yeah, maybe. Meanwhile, back at the pack, I think there was a battle change for. Oh, and also on board now with Alex. He's gone up into 7th now. Stephen is up to 5th, and now he's all over the back of Rascal's special livery. Making away towards Bullet. They go. So Stephen trying to recover from that bad start he has. Look at the background though. Halleck's around the outside of Martin.
Oh, you don't want to be running too wide here. That's going to end in tears.
He's going to have the inside for 10-4, and Halleck's is now recovering up to 6th position on board with La Bomba, getting a little bit sideways underneath the Nippon Bridge, but he's gone to 7th place, and Martin's down 2 places now.
Yeah, running side by side through this sector is never going to end well. It's very, very difficult.
Lat hits the wall quite hard, and he's actually battling with Alex too on the racetrack and in the Bronze Tier 1 Championship, because Alex was also promoted from that. So Alex is leading the championship in that class, and Lato's in 2nd, and they're battling really furiously already early on. for that 9th position. Meanwhile, Rascal and Stephen all over the back of that Lexus. It's Kofi and Akoto is there. It's must nearly outbraked himself at the Fujiwara hairpin.
It'll be interesting to see whether he does lose. He does lose second, so
he does. Well, he's side by side, but he holds it though. Inman's going to have the run, and again, fuel saving is going to be such a key part to this race, as you said earlier. Again, riding on board then with Alex, and he's tucked up into the slipstream of Stephen. A quarter of a second now, separating those two. But Stephen's going to make a look to the outside of Rascal, and just that Toyota. That Lexus got nothing, and Rascal tries to cut off Alex there. That was a bit like a NASCAR style, a super speedway, trying to like block in the way of someone else's path there. It kind of ruffled Alex up a little bit.
It was a very aggressive move, but
got us to the lead.
It's in the rules, so he's allowed to make that one change. Yes, as you say, I got battling Inman for first.
Yeah, there's going to be so many lead changes here, definitely there. Now Inman has gone to the point. Inman leading the race. He needs a good race here, does Inman, because Alex has won 3 in a row. He doesn't want to lose too many points away to Alex for the title. And now Inman leading the field. 3-car battle for the lead, 3-car battle for 4th, and a 4-car battle for 7th place. You ride on board with Martin. Further back in the background, though, you see that is La Bomba and Alex battling for 9th. And La Bomba will hold on to that in the AMG Mercedes. But back up front, Inman, Agoto, Kofi, nose to tail, nearly half a second separating the top 3.
Both important for Stephen and Alex's races. They've made it back through the field. So whilst they had a poor start, they now need to settle back in. Use each other to catch up to the guys ahead, and then obviously challenge for the win. So they're not out yet. It's not done. It's nowhere near done. And the more that these guys battle, sorry, I got caught over my words there. The more that these guys battle, obviously, the easier it'll be for Stephen and Alex to catch them up.
We were just riding on board. I think it was with Rascal there in 6th position, just seeing Stephen there just smacking the wall, setting the sparks fly up at Shield Dome and at turn 9. Meanwhile, there's a look at Lateral again in that livery, the Weimar livery, now up into 8th position. He's got Martin and the Aston just ahead, but back up front it is still Inman, Agoto and Kofi, and Stephen is catching up. Right on board with Kofi, and Stephen has definitely caught up, although he's going to be passed by Alex on the start-finish straight. And again, look at the run that Kofi's getting right into the toe of that Porsche 911. Ducks out now to the outside he goes. He's going to get another toe from Inman. Just look at the slipstream. It's so powerful around here.
So these 3 guys are going to be changing for the lead constantly, and that shows you the power of that Supra. Alex caught him up in the slipstream, tried to pull out to pass, and they just didn't make it. Just ran out of steam.
In fact, they're going to be side by side through Sunny out. There's Agoto and Kofi, and Kofi didn't take full advantage of getting the lead back, so Inman still holds on to the lead. Now making their way through Bullet. Now it looks like there's a little gap development from Inman to Agoto and then Kofi, but again Stephen is catching up and the gap is disintegrating. Yeah,
Stephen's now within the slipstream, so this is what I was saying. They both of them have caught them up now, and so now they can start pushing towards those higher positions.
I'm wondering if Alex is doing what he did last week at Alsace, trying to help Inman like what he did and then work his way to win the race. I wonder if he's helping Stephen this time to catch up the top 3. And you can see it's definitely working. Just noticed there too, he's actually set the fastest lap of the race as you ride on board with the championship leader, defending champion and all, making his way towards out to turn 10 and then towards the Fujiwara hairpin. So
yeah, top 5 all split by what, a second? Not even that. So
yeah, that's very close there. 1.5 seconds, and then Rascal there just 2 seconds back. He is out of the slipstream, but hopefully he'll be there to keep in touch with the top 5 if they do swap and change positions, which I'm sure they will do down this long straightaway. Now underneath the bridge, we ride on board with Stephen. Just let's see him, just how much he closes up on Kofi, how the power of the Toyota does down this long straightaway. Getting closer now, getting closer. Will he pull to the inside? Will he pull to the outside? He's going to pull. Or he's just going to stay
He's staying. There he goes.
Oh, and now there's contact on the straightaway. Inman protecting the lead. They're going to be free abreast going into Sunny Inn, riding aboard now. Look at this. Nearly 4 abreast, nearly. Oh my God, look at the run that Alex is getting. You're going into a sunny end. This is going to end in tears. Who's going to come out on top, though? It's going to be Kofi. Kofi's going to lead it, is he? Or is it going to be Stephen? Through Sunny out now, and Kofi's got it.
So Stephen has gone from 4th to 2nd just in that straight alone with that straight line lead. Alex's run was fantastic, but I think he got it just slightly too late to make any move.
On board again with Alex there, getting close to the back of Agotto's Porsche. Through the Nippon Bridge they go, turn 4, 5 and 6, now into AMT. But it's now Kofi in the Hyundai. I'm just so surprised how the Hyundai is keeping up with the lead pack. There's a look at Lateral. Now he's in the 7th place, and he's freed himself, and he's got Rascal 6 seconds above. So something might have happened there. In fact, we have lost some of them. I think it might be Martin. I think Martin was up in about 7, but he's lost it anyways. Now Kofi scrapes the wall there. I just noticed. Yeah, there he is, down in 12th position. So Martin, he did a 2-minute free, so he did make a mistake. Rascal scraping the wall off of turn 10.
Yeah, Rascal's sort of stuck in no man's land here. He's got no one to slipstream behind and no one to slipstream in front. He's playing his own game at the moment.
Kofi just hitting his lines through the Fujiwara hairpin. Inman's managed to get into 2nd place, but he's going to lose that 2nd spot with the power of the Toyota. But it's Kofi in the lead, riding aboard now with Alex to the outside of Agotto in the Porsche.
He's pulled out. Oh no, he's lost it in. Wow, fair enough.
Shuts the door in Agotto's face and gets back into the toe of Stephen.
I was going to say, I was pretty sure Alex pulled out too early there. He wasn't going to get the run. Also had, but clearly that Porsche is going to struggle.
Free abreast with the lead, and Stevens into the point now. On board with Inman. And watch out for Alex. He wants to get up there. It's single file there for the top 5. Oh, this is going to be exciting. 15 minutes already done. Alex to the inside. He's going for the inside on Kofi. Little bit of bumping and barging. There we go. Got it out again. But Alex is down to 3rd.
He's done well there. I think that was a good move. He had the right to be there. So they're not giving each other any space, are they? Even though there's barely any on this track. So it's very, very close and very, very feisty between all 5 of these drivers.
Kofi may just scrape the wall in the middle of the, and again on the outs, it's a bit too. They've got to be careful because they might be out of slipstream distance down now. A 2nd now, so I think we're now whittled down to 3 cars battling for the lead, unless if Agotto can somehow miraculously catch up to Alex. As you look at Rascal in 6th and Lateral in 7th. Preggie's recovered up to 8th. There's a look at Preggi. We did see him. He did qualify 7th, fell down to as low as 13th, but he's holding this battle for 8th place. Right above with Martin, who's recovered up to 9th. We did see him in 12th. Kevlaro in 10th. He qualified dead last in this lobby, so he's done well. He's gained 4 positions. Alex Taneo has fallen down to 11th. La Bomba, as Stephen is still holding the lead. Inman in 2nd, Alex in 3rd. Riding on board again with Alex, and Agotto 8 tenths adrift, but he's going to be losing more time because them 3 are tucked up against each other. In fact, Alex is going to the outside now.
I think Inman was communicating there. I saw his hazards on, so I think Inman and Alex are working to stop Stephen from winning this race. They're going the same tactic as last time.
At the back there, Kofi's passing Agotto, so that's a position change yet again. I'm actually kind of surprised that Alex and Inman are working together, even though they've got this rivalry. Oh, here we go. I thought they were going to be 3 abreast then. Not really the case that it is. Now on board with
Supra is just so fast in a straight line.
Scarily fast. And you were saying about Alex there, don't be too surprised where he was. I mean, yeah, poor qualifying, but there he is up there in the hunt for the win with 33 minutes to go.
It's anyone's game at the moment. That's what makes this game so much fun. It's a complete slipstream fest, and importantly, this is actually playing into Rascal's hands a little bit, because while they battle, he's just sitting there waiting to pick up the scraps.
Tremendous battle there for 9th place. The Preggi seems to have freed himself from that battle. Kevlaro's now into 9th position, the Italian driver, but again back up front with the top 3, and again on board with Inman, and it got to 1.5 seconds adrift now. Alex there sparkling up there, so too did Stephen on the exit of, I believe that was AMT, now into Shiodome, and now into turn 9.
It's great seeing all the sparks, in the darkness of the night. It really adds to the effect, I feel.
So but it is Stephen, and there you can see Rascal just there in the distance there. Having in towards the hairpin turn 11. Anyone more battling? No, stuck in behind. Although it looks like Stephen may have made a mistake. I don't know if he had help or what. But that's going to give Alex an opportunity to get the run off the corner, but I don't think he'll have it. Or will he? Side by side across the start-finish straight. And has the Toyota still got it? I think Inman's definitely helping Alex. Obviously, there's some secret relationship that Alex and Inman are certainly doing to try and beat Stephen, because they know that's the car to beat. Side by side across the line, and Stephen still gets it.
It's all gamesmanship at this point. I believe that Inman is fuel saving because he's actually losing in the slipstream at the moment. So he's lifting off, maybe changing the fuel settings a little bit just to gain that time elsewhere, you know, in the pit lane, because having that extra fuel will give him that opportunity to change positions.
Meanwhile, Alex then trying to go around the outside. It's Sonny in. Can he get it done? No, he can't. Stephen just again does a good job defending it. Agotto's still there in the distance, as well as Kofi and Rascal, about 3 seconds back of Kofi. Riding aboard now with Kofi. Seems to be dropping a little bit back from Agotto, but he is still within that slipstream distance. Kevlaro has now got up into 8th position. Who did he pass? He passed Predji. Yeah, Predji. Yep, there you are. So Kevlaro now up into 8th position from starting dead last. Lateral in 6th. 6 seconds adrift though of Rascal. He might be fuel saving though, possibly. Back up front again. More sparks being kicked up there from Alex.
Yeah, Kevlaro's done well to get from P14 all the way up to P8. He's he's picked his way through. Oh, I think Stephen had a bit of a moment there through turn 9. So he's managed to keep the lead, but again, he doesn't want to be doing that because Alex and Inman will pounce on those mistakes.
Now going in towards the hairpin now for the 9th time. Stephen puts his car in the middle of the track. Nice apex there from Alex there, but will Vittorio get all the speed off the corner? Indeed he does, and Inman's starting to drop back, and I think Agotto's starting to catch up now. He's getting close now to the back of Inman.
So Agotto's pushing to get back up into this little pack here.
He might not be fuel saving. He's trying to catch up to Inman, who definitely is fuel saving, and Alex all over the back of that Toyota.
So this is where the strategy's coming in. They're all playing games now. That's what's going on here. Is Stephen could also be fuel saving, realising what's going on, and they're just sticking in the slipstream, and this race is going to come alive within like 5 minutes towards the end, where everyone scraps for those higher positions.
It's going to be interesting to see, because I think drivers will possibly make their pit stop within 2 laps or so. Roughly about 4 minutes time, you get to see drivers make that one and only pit stop, and it's going to be interesting to see what fuel they've got left, what fuel they've got before topping the fuel up.
And Kevlaro's just overtaken Lateral for place, so Kevlaro's making a lot of moves here.
Side by side through Sonny out. Lateral just holds on to that Citroen, but it's that RCF has that got some speed. We did see Rest drive the wheels off it in the Nürburgring, bring aboard with Reggie. He can't make a move. Side by side through Bullet. Now going in towards 10-4. Again, flat out through there and then underneath the Nippon Bridge. And Lateral holds on to that 7th.
Yeah, so good driving from the two of them as Kev hits the outside wall.
Here's a replay then. Just past them on the straightaway. But just not enough to get the job done on Lateral.
Yeah, I don't think he had the steam to make the pass outside of the slipstream there. So
back again on board with him. And now looking then at Predji in 8th position, still holding. He's actually gone by Kevlaro actually. And then in the background there, Kurt 666 the newbie in 10th position, doing a great job.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job in his first race, being in 10th. Ooh, makes a little mistake there.
I just noticed there too that Kevlaro just kind of flashed the lights there a bit, and Pred may have put him off as we go back on board with Inman. Yeah, it looks like Alex is now trying to save some fuel. He's not pulling out, making a pass now. So I think Alex, Inman, all that lot of saving fuel, but Agotto's not really catching up to Inman. So I'm guessing these drivers now just sort of settling themselves down, saving as much fuel as they can, and then go for the second one. Certainly Predji's not. He's just past Lateral.
So Pred smells a very, very good result here in that Chapter, so I think he's just pushing to try and get as far ahead as he can early on. But Lat's coming back at him.
Yeah, indeed he is. Don't forget, Pred's battling for the Silver Tier Championship with Jerry Bear. Lat's battling for the Bronze 1 Championship with Alex Tadia. And both of those drivers in there. I think Jerry, the last time I saw Jerry, he was down in 14th place. But don't forget, Jerry was on the medium tyres as well as a few others.
Yeah, so they're going to come in. They're going to come into play later.
Yeah, possibly about a couple of minutes' time, I reckon. Although the medium tyres can last maybe a couple of laps longer, so we could see the likes of them coming in a bit later. The guys that started on the medium tyres, as looking again at Alex, still holding on to second place, and he just looks a bit content there, saving fuel on Stephen. They're still there. Gotto in 4th, Kofi 5th, Rascal 6th. Again, more sparks fly there through turn 9, now into turn 10, and then into the hairpin. I'm just wondering if the top 3 are just possibly working each other to try and pull away from Gotto and Kofi in that lot. Again, looking at the battle for 7th place. Predje still holds it, then Lateral, and then Kevlaro, and Martin back into 10th place, so he's gone by Kurt somewhere in the Lexus. Oh, there's a replay there. In fact, Kurt's gone down to 12th place. There's Alex.
They're all battling for 10th.
They're all battling. Yeah, they are.
That's a 4-way battle for 10th there.
It's like NASCAR double file. Here we go. Martin leads the way. Then it's Kurt. Then it's La Bomba. As we see Stevens into the pits, he's the first to come in. Alex as well. So Inman has stayed out. And I just noticed there, Stephen had 38% of fuel, whereas Alex had 32% in.
So yeah, so Stephen's done very well on the fuel there.
Lateral's in. He's got 39% in, so he doesn't need to put in much fuel as the other 2 that's in. And Predje's also in to the pit. So Inman's into the lead. Agotto 2nd. Rascal's at the podium. Kevlaro up to 4th. Kofi. What happened to Kofi? Did he pit?
I believe Kofi has pitted, yes.
Oh, okay then. Are you sure?
Oh, no, maybe not. Where is Kofi gone?
Kofi was in 5th position.
Oh, he's in 5th position.
Kevlaro's ahead. 2:09. Did he short shot? Can we see his tyres?
He's definitely pitted. He's definitely pitted. I mean, we can see
sure?
by his tyres.
Are you sure? Because he's actually come up well ahead of Alex and Stephen.
I think Kofi's had the unfortunate not refueling again.
Oh, has he?
I think that's what's happened here. If you look at his fuel, he's changed tyres, but he hasn't got any fuel
Hasn't put the fuel in. And this is exactly what happened at Alsace last week, and it cost him a 4th place finish.
It's the same mistake. He admitted after that race that was his fault, so he might have done it again here, and that's going to absolutely murder any chance of a good result for Kofi. So that's really unfortunate for him.
Meanwhile, battle's still everywhere you look. There's a look at Alex Tadia. Martin scraping the wall. Kurt 666, they're having a different line through turn 10.
Kurt's slow.
Back in the background. Yeah, Kurt, definitely, yeah. On board now with Stephen.
I think he must have been letting Stephen through. That's probably what he was ending up doing.
Oh, Martin missed the apex. The first part of the Fujiwara hairpin as Inman makes his pit stop. Agotto's also in.
Look at Agotto's fuel though, 37 in the Porsche. Yeah, that's impressive.
He definitely saved some fuel for sure.
He's done very well in that Porsche. That Porsche's not normally that good on fuel.
Comes over the others then coming into the pit lane. Agotto's on the mediums. Kofi's pitting yet again. So I tell you what, where is Alex? Where is he? Let's on board now with Stephen. This has gone through there. Yeah, it's down in 7th position. Did he fuel a lot there?
I think he had the worst fuel out of everyone, so I think fuel up quite a bit to get to the end.
So Stephen has gone out effectively in the lead when Rascal makes his one and only stop. Riding aboard now with Kurt, who's yet to make a pit stop, and he sits in 4th position.
Kurt's being smart. He's not in a battle with Inman, and he knows it. So he could have made a move there, but he's happy to sit behind him and
the only careful thing is he's got a bottle behind him.
That's the other issue as well, yes.
And I also do believe that Kurt is on the mediums, if I remember. I know there were 3 drivers. I think Kurt was on the mediums.
Yes,
Jenny started on the mediums too.
So Kurt knows he's not really in this battle. He's just sort of a bit of a cork at the moment. You know, he's stuck in here. So it'd probably be smart letting Agotto go rather than battling. But he has to do that, you know, safely and without losing too much time himself.
Oh, Stephen scraping the wall all over the place there. Now we did see Stephen up at the front last week at Alsace before he pretty much lost it in the last few laps. And still scraping the wall. Inman 1.6 adrift. I think Grasko will be making a pit stop sometime soon, I reckon.
Gosso's making a move on Kurt as well, so that's going to be something for him to get past him.
Still not bad yet. Jerry Bear in 6th, but he's yet to pit. Alex is in 7th, who has pitted. Fred J, I believe he's also pitted too.
It's a nice little run for Jerry Bear to be appearing in 6th place. I think that's the highest he's ever been in a positional sense.
He's probably suffering a nosebleed. He's never been that high up. His teammate Rascal's gone into the pits.
So where's this going to chuck Rascal out? Because obviously he was sort of on his own, no man's land at the start of this race. As Kurt comes in, does Jerry pit as well? Jerry does pit.
Jerry does pit, yeah. So they're going to go into the meet. They're soft tyres, I reckon. So out goes Rascal, comes out
just behind
Rascal.
Just behind Alex.
Yeah, just behind Alex, yeah. And again, no sign of Kofi because unfortunately he had that pit problem again. But he's down now in 8th position. In fact, he's going to lose that 8th spot because Kevlaro's just passed him.
So the big loser out of all this is Alex. He's gone from battling to about 8 seconds down. And
also Kofi too, down from 5th to 9th with the 2 pit stops though.
Yeah, I mean obviously that's an anomaly, we'll say.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alex to lose 8 seconds during the pit stop phase is that's not good for him.
Yeah, do you think he may have overfueled?
I don't think he's overfueled. I think it's just the case of that's how much fuel that has in the car. I don't think he has much choice in the matter, you know?
Yeah, well, definitely. Anyway, Stephen is pulled out to a 2.1 advantage now. Inman, who doesn't have his friend Alex behind him, trying to work up with him because he's far adrift then. Agotto in the Porsche in 3rd, Alex in 4th, Rascal 5th, Craig G into 6th, and Lateral in 7th, and still battling with Kofi and Kevlaro. La Bomba in 10th, Martin in 11th. These are all drivers that have all made their one and only pit stop. It's right above with Kevlaro in 9th position. So Kofi just ahead and Lateral in front of him as well. And you got Martin in 11th position. 12th position, I believe, could be Alex, I reckon. I'm going to guess at Alex. No, it's Kurt, then Alex, and then Jerry Bear. But those were the two. I think those were the 3 that actually pitted. Who started the race on the mediums that are now going to the soft tyres.
So this is going to play into Jerry Bear's hands here.
Jerry Bear, Kurt, and Alex too.
Yeah. They're on the softs now, and obviously they can start making their way up the pack. So this is going to be a very good result for those normal lobby B drivers. You know, who when they poke up into lobby A, they always surprise us. I mean, Larrell's fantastic job up in 7th battling Kofi the way he is. So and Pred in 6th as well. So this is a good showing for the lower tier drivers.
Kofi ducks out to the inside. Kevlaro ducks to the outside. 3 abreast into Sonny in. Who's going to be the big winner out of all that? It's going to be Kofi. Now Kevlaro goes to the inside of Lateral. Doesn't do it. And sticks into P9.
That was a good racing from the 3 of them there. Easily one of them, but all 3 of them could have ended up in the. Gave each other space, and Kofi made a good move on the inside of Lateral there. So, and well, I have to admire Kevlaro's spirit trying to follow him through. So that was very good racing from those 3, as I said.
I'm on board with Kevlaro. Said many times again, P14 he started up to P9, so he's gained 5 spots. He's got another 2 just in front of him. Lat and Kofi.
I think Lat got checked up behind Kofi a tiny bit there as I think Kofi had a bit of a moment through that corner, so they might let Kevlaro have a little bit of a look in the hairpin, but he's lost too much through those 2 corners. So it's still interesting. There's still lots of games to play. You know, the field's spread out a little bit because of the. It's Lat. I think.
Lat may have got into the back of Kofi. I think Lat may have got into the back of Kofi because he ducked out really late. Here's a look at a replay. Going in towards the Fujiwara hairpin.
Oh,
yeah, he just
unlucky.
got to the
Unlucky.
back.
That was I think he just missed his breaking point slightly and just hit into the back of Kofi. Kofi's not had much luck this season with being punted from behind, so I believe Lat's given that place back. So
He did.
he's down in ninth.
He's down
now,
in ninth. He's got the bomb ball over the back of him now.
That it's those small mistakes that he doesn't want to be making throughout this entire race.
Kevlaro's just past Kofi, so that's another position gained for Kevlaro. Now that's 7 positions gained for Kevlaro, nearly tied the record that you and Jans did for most passes in a race of 8.
Stevens pulling out about half a second a lap here, and I think this is now Stevens to lose.
You say that because Alex is definitely catching. As you're looking again at Lat, now down in 10th position, the bomber's found a way by.
Kevlaro and Kofi are battling up ahead.
Yeah.
This quartet. So
yeah, and you got the bomb ball over the back there too. So if them 3 kind of slip up, Lat's there to pick up the pieces and gain 3 positions back.
But they have to be careful of the 3 behind as well, because they're not too far back, and obviously they're on the soft tyres.
And we just saw Curtin's shot there, 3.8 adrift, and they are on the fast tyre, as well as Martin and Jerry. I think it was Alex too as well, so we've got to keep an eye out on them. But I just noticed that Alex's gap now 4 seconds on Agotto, so he is definitely catching to the back of that Porsche driver. Oh, it's gone up to 5 seconds now.
But more importantly, he's lost a second towards the lead, so Stevens is lapping very, very good rate here.
I'm genuinely surprised how Agotto can keep up the pace, like in the top half there. I'm just genuinely surprised. He caught us all by surprise by getting the pole position, and he's keeping Inman very honest in second spot.
Yeah, Inman can't slip up here, and Agotto will be right there with him if the opportunity arises. So Inman's got some pressure on here.
On board now with Alex there, just battling with another fellow Lexus driver of Jerry Bear, who's trying to make a pass on Martin. Martin making a return to the lobby A since Sedegna, round 2, and Jerry Bear's back up into 12th now, so setting his sights on Kurt, but Kurt's pulling away now, 3.7, and Martin's trying to get that spot back, and then look at Alex, they're going to go 3 abreast, put the Aston driver the meat in the middle of a Lexus sandwich.
Alex has made the move stick. Oh, Jerry's up the inside.
Oh,
Jerry!
Say, no, you don't. Oh, but he missed. He just scrapes the wall and Sonny in. Now into Sonny out. Understeer referee Sonny out, but he still holds on to P30.
I mean, that was very, very brave driving from Alex there to make that 3 wide, going around the outside. Into that corner, and he's managed to make it stick. He's made up 2 positions, so fair play.
A man on a mission is actually Kurt in 11th position. He's gained a second alone on this lap alone. Meanwhile, back up front, Agotto to Inman, still relatively the same, 1.5 seconds. The gap now from Steven to Inman is over just about 3 seconds now, so Steven's starting to stretch his legs in that Toyota, and it's what people were saying in the GR3 chat there. I don't think, Steven's one of the favourites here to win the race. He was a favourite to win Alsace last week before the last couple of laps when Alex had that mad tyre saving whatever he did and stole the win away from Steven. But it looks good here for Steven to get his first career win in this championship.
I mean, I'm still shocked about how well Alex kept his tyres last week. So unfortunately, that ability hasn't really helped him here. This circuit isn't tyre intensive. It's not like they're much needed here. So, and Kevlara and Bomber are battling.
Yeah, that's again battle, and the Bomber back into 8th position. Kev having a nice ding-dong battle there. Kofi's just up there, just a little bit, 6 steps ahead of this battle here, and again Lat falling apart, 1.3. I want to see what the gap is from Kurt to Lat is now, because it was about 2.6. I wonder what the gap
look
is
at the
now.
Speed of Bomber.
Yeah, the AMG's not too sluggish down that straightaway.
Is that seriously how the top speed of that Hyundai? I thought it was much quicker than that.
Obviously not.
I know, I'm just shocked how quickly they they caught up to him. That's crazy. How powerful the effect is again.
So the bomb it up to 7th. Kofi down to 8th. Kevlaro in 9th, and Lado just starting to fall away from that battle now. He's still in 10th position. There is a look at Alex, who's now freed away from Jerry, and Martin has fallen by the, well, not by the wayside. He's nearly 2 seconds adrift now from Jerry. I'm just wondering, did Martin start the race on softs, or did he start on mediums? I can't mind. I know there was only 3. I think he started on softs, I believe.
I can't remember actually. So
yeah, I can't mind.
That might be why he's falling. Might be on the mediums now.
Anyway, Inman's gap, 2.8 seconds. So he's gained a couple of attempts on this lap alone now. 1.4 seconds now. His gap from Agotto.
I've just noticed that Agotto does actually gain in the first part of the straight, but then it doesn't have the top speed, so the Porsche is actually pretty good out of that final corner.
Yeah, it's a good turning car. It's really good on the brakes too. It generally handles a lot better than the Lexus, but again, it's just the straight line speed of the car is just where it's definitely its weak point. Knowing me, because I drove the Porsche back in season 1, I thought I liked the car, but it was just too slow and sluggish, and that's why I was pretty much down at the back of the field back in season 1. There's a look then at Pred in 6th position. Quiet race for him, as well as Rascal up there in 5th. We haven't mentioned a bit about Rascal this whole time, and there you can see Lat, and there now you can see the gap. 1.6 seconds now from Lat to Kurt as the bomber gets a little sideways through Sunny in, making a little bit of contact with Kofi on the exit of Sunny out. Now that's put Kevlaro now into P7, Kofi staying in P8, and the bomber down to P9. But watch out for Kurt, he could be a factor for this battle for 7th place now. There's a look then at Rascal in 5th position. Quiet race for him, 6.8 adrift of Alex, and about 4 seconds quicker ahead of Pred G. It looks like the Kevlaro's put out a decent gap now. He's nearly 1.5 seconds away now from Kofi.
These 4 of between 7th and 10th are catching P6 as Kofi hits the wall.
Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah, and the bomber around the outside into turn 9, and Kofi definitely struggling now.
So Kevlaro's catching Pred, who's catching Rascal. So these lot are in a shout potentially for 5th place.
Yeah, Kevlaro now, you can see there, 1 minute now down to 2 seconds there. I think Kofi's just got that 8th spot back. Now again with a Gotto, 1.8 adrift off of Inman, but the gap between himself and Alex is slightly grown a little bit, 5.6, and there again we see that battle for 8th position. The bomber, Kofi, Lado there too, just in the mix there a little bit. Post the inside now, and then Kofi shuts the door back in the bomber's face, and that's P8 gained. I tell you what, Kurt must be close to the back of Lado now, surely, in 11th position.
Lat seems to be struggling on these mediums quite a bit, and he's really very Kurt.
That's the benefit of the soft tyres here. Watch out for Kurt, because he could actually catch up to Kevlaro, I reckon. About 10 minutes to go, though, well, 9 minutes to go. Maybe 7th place a little bit,
So we've got another 5 laps. So he's got time to do it if he nails the lap time.
Just so impressed by Kurt there. New to this committee or community, sorry, and passed his rookie test a couple of weeks ago, and he's fighting with the big boys, and he's doing a sensational job. There's a look at Jenny Bear still battling with Alex for 12th position. Thought them two would have caught up with Kurt, but it looks like the Lexus is here. It looks like they're kind of struggling now for the pair of them. Now Stephen out in front again, 3.1 seconds he has over Inman, so he stretched his legs out again. And the gap now from Inman to Agotto is 2.6 now, so Agotto, he did a 2 minute there, so he must have scraped the wall somewhere, because I did see some little scratches there on the left side there.
He must have made a mistake. Yeah, that's a very, very slow lap time from Agotto there, so must have got in the wall somewhere.
And now there we go, Kurt all over the back of the Citroen, and he's just going to breeze by the Citroen in the Fujiwara hairpin, and that's 10th position for the rookie, although he slides it in the middle. Laro's gone for the crisscross, but who's got the speed off the corner? It's going to be Kurt, and he still holds on to that safe place despite messing up in the middle part of the Fujiwara hairpin.
More importantly, though, obviously Lat is now in the prime position to just get the place back. Although it looks like, I think he might be sticking in Kurt's. He's sitting in Kurt's slipstream and letting Kurt pull him along.
Yeah, he wants to catch up to Kofi and La Bomba now, so
as they're battling up ahead as well.
Yeah, so that's going to help in favour of Kurt and Lat. Kofi's retaking that 8th spot. I'm surprised Kevlaro's not really pulled away from that lot.
Well, it looks like Kevlaro's actually lost time to Pred as well. So maybe Kevlaro's made a mistake himself, and Kofi's just gone right round the outside of him.
Yeah. So Kofi back in the P7. So with them three battling, it's definitely going to catch Kurt and Lat to make their way into this battle, and we're going to have ourselves pretty much a 20-wheel disaster for P7.
This is great. The gaps are closing. Obviously, the front runners have sort of just all settled own rhythm, but at least there's action going on elsewhere, and obviously these guys are really close.
Oh! Bomber getting to the back of Kevlaro underneath the Nippon Bridge. Now on towards AMT, but there under the bridge they go there, and again sparks flying there from Kofi. Now towards the Shio Dome, and Kofi will still protect P7.
That's not a place that Kevlaro should have been making.
Yeah, in fact, he's lost the spot as a result. And there you can see further back there, Kofi and Lato, they're there.
Yeah, they are catching as well. Like, Kurt could be on for a really good result here for his first ever. Coming
up then, 6 minutes to go, roughly, what, 4 laps to go to the end of this race on board there with Kevlaro, getting completely sideways off the exit there, putting the power on a little bit too early. And Kurt, you can see that gap is closing down, 8.6, 8.5, I think that is, though. That's still, oh no, it's actually growing up.
Well, Kevlaro's still in the slipstream of the guys ahead, so whilst obviously Kurt's in that strong ass Supra, it's the slipstream is just too powerful again.
Go then back onto the long straightaway. Back again with Kevlaro as La Bomba's going to the outside of Kofi and just gets that position 7 back again. Oh, as he makes a mistake through Sunny Inn. This is the apex. And I think that mistake, because Kofi held back there, and now that's going to allow Kurt and Lat to catch up now.
So here we go, the 5-way battle for 7th place.
Through turn 4 they go, right on board now with Kurt. Let's see what he can do with these soft tyres, if he can just go by both Kevlaro, Kofi and La Bomba. Less than 5 minutes to go now, lap 22 of this race.
So Kurt needs to pick his times carefully here, because he's got basically 3 laps to make 3 positions. So he's got the opportunity, but he doesn't. If he makes any mistake, then that's the chance gone.
I tell you what, Lat has fallen way off here. Lat's nearly 1.5 seconds adrift now from this battle.
I don't think Lat likes the mediums. He seems to be really struggling. Tired.
Go then on board with Kurt going. Is he going to make a move with the Fujiwara hairpin? No, he doesn't. Sticks in behind Kevlaro, who gets into the back of Kofi.
Kofi did well to hold that. Oh,
nice save there.
And that's the Supra. That is the curse of the Supra. Get on the power too early, you out.
Yeah, he got a little bit excited there. Just needs to calm down. La Bomba's holding this mad battle there as we look at Pred G in 6th position, on course for his best ever finish in the GR3 Championship. Marasco, just a quiet race for Marasco, but a solid P5 nonetheless for him. That special livery of his.
Rascal and Pred have sort of just been nowhere again. They just run their own races as Kofi makes a move again.
Go to the inside of Sunny Inn, and Kofi's regained that 7th spot, and Kevlaro's going to hit the wall, understeering there through Sunny Inn.
The tyres are starting to
struggle
at the end of these stints.
That was a huge mistake for Kurt there to nearly lose the reel, get the power on too early at the hairpin. Still a good showing this year from Kevlaro, 14th to 9th. It's still, I mean, it's still anyone's guess for 7th place, but I mean, Kurt and that lot are not out of it just yet. They've got another, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in this battle, so it's still raging on.
They are really pushing each other. Obviously, they're only going to really get one more opportunity down that straight now. These moves are going to count.
Yeah, effectively got 2 more laps to go. I think with these drivers, I think it's going to be 1 more lap.
These guys are going to get cut off.
Yeah, they're going to have 1 more lap of racing to go because there's 2 minutes to go. It's about 1 minute 57 a lap. So this is going to be effectively the last lap for these drivers. As the bumper one's a little wide through the hairpin. Tries to hit the apex on the second part, didn't do it, but he still protects P7. So this will be the last lap of the race for these guys.
Kurt's just made it into the slipstream range, so watch out for him. He might make wide going into T1.
And again, that's fallen off the cliff again, 1.5 seconds of drift. So on board again, that was staying on board with Kurt here, as they are going to be doing their last lap of this race. Who's going to get P7? Is it a bomber? Is it going to be Kofi? Is it going to be Kevlaro? Or is it going to be Kurt? Here goes Kofi to the inside of La Bomba, going into a sunny in. Watch out for Kevlaro.
Here comes
sees the run. Here he comes. Double file now. Noah's Ark 2x2 through sunny in. And Kofi's got P7.
Kevlaro's didn't get bomber on the inside. I thought he might have been able to hold it to turn 2, but Kurt didn't manage to make any moves there. So
he kind of got held up by La Bomba on the outside of Sunny In, but he's going to try around the outside towards the dip on bridge, which he's going to have the inside. That's a difficult place to overtake. That's not going to work.
Don't work there.
Yeah,
I thought that was going to be an accident.
Yeah, they would have lost a lot of time there. So Kurt may have been just a bit smart that just held him behind Kevlaro, because that would have been, the smart thinking there. But it's going to allow La Bomba and Kofi to battle themselves for 7th place.
They're still going at it all the way.
Is Stephen going to make it? Actually, go cut to Stephen. Is he going to make it?
Stephen,
this is going to be very close. I don't think he is. No, he's not. Stephen's going to win. There he goes. He weaves across the line. Stephen's going to win his first race. Inman, another 2nd place. Agotto, incredible drive. He was the pole sitter. He gets 3rd position. Alex's 3 wins in a row has been defeated. He finishes in 4th position. But we're going again for this battle for 7th place. Kofi's actually pulled away. In fact, Kevlaro's gone ahead of La Bomba.
Yeah, Kevlaro's made a move, but that was probably poor because Bomba's going to get him on the straight here.
There we go, side by side across the start finish line. Look at them, door handle. Who's going to get it? La Bomba gets it.
La Bomba gets it just on the line. Oh, Kevlaro's run out of fuel. He's out. Oh, he just made it. He just made it. Yeah, he just timed his fuel to perfection. Kurt gets 10th, Lato 11th. 12th place for Alex Tanier. Here comes Jerry Barrett in 13th place, and here comes Barton across the line in last place. And there you are. Les Rascal there finishing in a solid 5th position. But again, congratulations to Stephen, his very first win. And you have to say, from qualifying 2nd, fell down to about 7th position, worked his way, patiently worked his way up through the field, and it's paid dividends. He's got his first win. Yeah, that was a good performance from Stephen there. I'm kind of disappointed that the field didn't stay together through the pits. I thought that Nuggy and Inman were going to be saving more fuel there than they really managed to. So Stephen, faultless. Once he got into that lead, he kept going, and that was it. He just stayed there.
Yeah, he did the undercut, didn't he? He pitted a lap early as well as Alex, and it paid dividends. I mean, it didn't work last week. It's Alsace, but it worked here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that the Supra was going to be fast, but that was I noticed at the end though, Inman was catching him. So if the race was slightly longer, I think Inman might have come back at him.
I think that was a bit of a strategy because he did have a decent lead. He did have like a 3.5 second lead the last time we saw Stephen in front. So he may have just slowed down just to end the race right there instead of going for another lap. But it would have been quite nice if he did, because he would have just done a lap of honour by himself. Right, so here we go. We're going to get the drivers' interviews in. Hopefully we can get an interview with a few of the drivers, possibly, 3 or 4 at the most. So we're just waiting for our race winner. In fact, we'll have a chat with Inman.
We'll speak to Inman first. I feel like that's an easier way of doing this.
There he is. There. Here comes Inman. Can you hear us?
Yes. Hello. How you doing?
Yeah, very well. Good race there from you. P2. Happy with that?
Yeah, definitely. Crucially ahead of Alex, which that was just so unfortunate. What happened there? That was. But yeah, second, very good race.
Did we miss something? What happened to Alex?
The pit maneuver from Stephen.
Oh, was there a bit of contact that we missed? I don't think
not contact, but Stephen went in at the last moment, and I think it just caught him out a little bit.
Oh,
he didn't lose too much time, luckily.
Oh, okay. That's something that we've missed. That is news to us. So
yeah,
I didn't see that at all.
So it sounds like Lateral, we're having an interview here. Thank you very much. Getting a bit ahead of himself, I see. I know he's excited. To get his voice back on the stream, but he can wait.
We noticed that you were working with Alex. Was this the plan? Because you knew that Stephen was going to be a threat. Were you and Alex working together? Yeah,
well, if we didn't keep up with Stephen, he was gone, as we saw in the second stint. He would have just shot off. So I would have much rather just stayed behind, worked on my fuel, and not pressure Alex into making a mistake of his own, so that he can because I know he can keep up with Stephen in the slipstream. So I didn't want to take any chances, I guess. But
hey, still nonetheless, P2, you finished ahead of Alex, so more points gained for your championship, and we've got to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, unfortunately, we overran this week, so we've got to. But thank you for jumping in.
That's all right. Cheers, guys.
See you again next week.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Right, let's get the race winner in. Let's get Stephen in. Yeah. Stephen.
Hello.
There you are. Then you kind of lost the lead last week, but you finally got it this time, and probably well deserved too.
My God, it was hard work.
it did seem like hard work. Obviously, that after the pit stop, you were clean in the lead, but that probably puts more pressure on you to not make the mistake almost.
Well, I fuel saved. Well, I went light on the fuel just simply to try break the slip. And I went pretty light, but it was just enough because it was just over a second, I think, into the first corner.
Well, we noticed that that you pitted earlier than the others. So was that part of the strategy to obviously undercut and go and get that jump to break the slipstream, as you say? And
it wasn't necessarily a plan that I just decided to do on the fly. I had planned to go to 11 on the softs, no matter what, and then just come out and finish the race on the mediums. That was just my plan. I actually dipped into the pits really late. I thought Alex might have clipped the wall coming in.
We didn't
into
see
the
that.
pits behind me. It was very close.
Yeah, we missed that, and that's Inman mentioned something similar. So I'm gonna go be checking that on the replay because
it was late. Yeah, very late.
I think that's
I don't know what happened in the first corner. The first corner, I'm pretty sure we were 3 wide.
Yeah.
I couldn't really see.
I was just about to say that because you started in P2, and then by the end of the first corner, you were down in P7. It was
I was on the outside. I was just trying to stay as wide as physically possible. I think I left enough for 2 cars on the inside, but I think someone just missed a braking point or something because I felt like I got hit into the wall pretty hard. And it was just ping pong then, and I just managed to get out wherever I got out there. I think it was 7th or 8th or something, yeah.
But obviously you recovered well to win the race, so while it affected you a little bit, you done well to get here.
You just showed that patience in you to work your way slowly, methodically, worked your way up through the field, and it worked.
I wasn't so sure. I thought the boys were getting to get a little bit of field saving done because they were in behind each other in front of me. You know, the way they didn't need to push too hard. I thought you would have had more fuel in the cars.
It definitely looked like they were trying to, but I think that Supra was just so strong
Just
here.
love the
So,
short shift. Yeah,
so there you go.
Yeah, it just saves on the fuel well.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll leave it there for you for now. So congratulations on your first win, Stephen, and we'll see you again at Kyoto.
Indeed. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care.
Let's get Mr. Hallex in here. Hallex. Hello, Hallex.
Yeah. Hello.
There we go. So yeah, P4 there, your worst finish of the season. And Inman was saying about something about you hit the pit wall or something like that. What happened with that?
Yeah, I just walked into a trap because that was really stupid by me because I was just following Steven really closely, and then last second he bolted into the pits, and then I just reacted too slowly, and then I hit the pit wall. So
so he caught you out then.
Yeah. So I just walked straight into a stupid trap there. So yeah, I was done.
I mean, at least you're honest enough with yourself to admit the fact that you had just driven into a wall. So that was all she wrote then. That was it. That was the end of the race for you, basically.
Yeah, back to my race. Yeah.
End of the chance of winning, because you seemed okay on your fuel and stuff. So we were quite shocked when you did come out so far behind. We were wondering whether Savvy was mentioning it on the stream that did you overfuel almost on that pit stop? But yeah, I mean it's just unlucky. It sounds like.
For sure. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I just have to move on because that was a really dumb mistake. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you can laugh at it now, but 3rd place is still not bad.
4th.
4th place, sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
4th place
thankfully.
Still not bad.
I still lost a lot of time. But yeah, thankfully I managed to hold on to 4th. So yeah, that was a good compromise, I guess. So yeah.
Just one more question. Yeah, exactly. Just get out of the way and just focus on the next one. One more thing though, because Inman was saying that you and him were working together. When Stephen made his pit stop, was that just like a very late idea, or were you planning this pit with Inman?
I was thinking of maybe going another lap, and then I saw maybe he was gonna outsmart me by juking me there. But then he went into pits really quickly, and then So what happened? So
Then. All right, then. Anyway, thanks again for talking to us. And again, 4th place. That will be that. Well, that is your worst points finish, so that will be just dropped now. So yeah, on to Kyoto next week, and we'll see you there. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Perfect. And now let's get the man of the hour, shall we say, Mr. Lateral G, my former commentator on here.
Hello.
Can we get like a booing soundtrack or something?
This feels quite weird actually talking to my former commentator there. But anyway, P11, that second stint, what happened there? You kind of fell off a bit.
Yeah, I started on the soft tires, tried to just because I noticed Pred and Martin around me were also starting on the softs, and I wanted to make sure I didn't lose the slip compared to them. So I started softs. It worked great at the start. It's just the medium tires as they wear out, the field section just isn't that great, and I'm pretty sure Kurt was on softs, and you could just see the difference on track. So not the best call, but I wanted to make sure I didn't lose the slip. But it happened in the end anyways. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I did notice the fact that you seem to just be falling away. So was that were your rear tires just falling off more? Because you seem to be sliding quite a bit. I mean, that's I sympathise as a Citroen driver myself. That I know that that they do like to wear down. So.
Well, for me, it was more of my original strategy was to start mediums pit at the end of lap 12 and go softs to the end. But when I saw that they were starting on softs, I made the switch to start softs, and so I ended up hitting lap 11 instead of 12. And I think it was a lap or two just too long on the medium tires, and they just went away from me.
Well, I mean, even so, first appearance in Lobby A, you must be pretty happy with it. Like even if it could have gone slightly better, there's where you finish is nothing to be upset about.
Yeah, it's my first appearance at Lobby A. I've been looking forward to this race ever since it was announced. Basically, that I knew this was a race I was probably going to be pretty decent at, and maybe make Lobby A. And sure enough, I did. It was unfortunate what happened. There was a bunch of cars in front of me, and I couldn't quite catch up to them. There was a few mistakes that'll probably give me a penalty after the stewarding comes through. So that sucks, but it is what it is.
And more importantly, though, you finished ahead of Alex, who's fighting with the bronze Tier 1 championship now since he's been promoted up to that class now with you. So that's more importantly, you finished ahead of Alex.
Yeah, but I don't know how long that position will stand. Like as I just mentioned, the penalties will probably come in, and I might end up losing that position. I don't know if I would lose it to Martin. Was it Martin or no? It would be Jerry who finished behind him. So I don't know if I would lose. I don't know if I would lose 12th to Jerry. It'd be close. It would depend on what the steward's saying, what they go for. But a couple mistakes here and there. Not the best race in the end, but I mean, I'm still happy with my performance racing the way I did. I was up at the front towards the start of the race, and I knew I had some good soft pace, but in the end, I couldn't quite capitalize.
No, Evan. Right, we'll leave it there. And again, well done to you and Rascal for making that special livery for the problems in Myanmar. It was great to see that livery out on the track. We did see quite a lot of it, didn't we? So,
was it. You were one of the highlights of the stream, Lateral.
Yeah. I always try to make it entertaining. You're
the new darling of ARC.
I did have a nickname back when I was karting they called me Will the Thrill, because I always usually would make exciting races. But back on the topic of delivery, I know it's been not an easy season for a lot of us. Obviously, Rascal's been dealing with a lot. I know you've had a bit of up and down with the season as well, Chili. Just between the rounds at Sardinia and Laguna, I lost my grandfather, who was a big supporter of me in my racing all the time. He would always show up to the races, no matter how hard it was for him to get out of the car and even walk to the fence just to watch, but he would always show up. So it's not been easy on a lot of us this season, but we're all trying to get through it. And I figured putting the livery on to show my solidarity with Rascal would be just to show that even at times we might call ourselves the adrenaline racing community. At times it can be more like the adrenaline racing family.
Oh, well, you made him very proud anyway, so well done for that.
You can be happy with your performance there.
You can leave with your head held high.
I hope to be back in Lobby A at some point, though.
Well, hope so, because Kyoto could be a good track for the Citroen, because Chile did well with it.
Mm-hmm.
I might give you some pointers, depends how I feel.
Just get that Man City livery back in, and then he'll help you.
No,
Dragon, it's definitely going to be there for Dragon Trail. Dragon Trail is the one I'm looking forward to.
Right, we ended there then anyway. So well done, 11th place there for your debut in Lobby A. Well done, and again, you made people very proud. So yeah, congratulations.
All right, thanks, lads.
And there you go. That is it. We've got our 4 interviews, and we're going to end the stream right there. So yeah, that was a very fun race overall.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it was slightly concerning, obviously, with the tightness of the walls, but everyone made it, fairly cleanly and did rather well. I mean, even with the first lap melee, no one really lost too much time, so it was a very, very close fought battle between everyone. So good fun. Kyoto next week.
The second Asia track there, so not a big mileage to go for the drivers to go over to Kyoto.
No, they'll probably just be sleeping in their hotels tonight in Tokyo.
Eating a lot of sushi, and then head out to Kyoto. So anyways, that has been round 5 of the ARC Gr.3 Championship. I've been Savvy.
I've been Chili.
And we will see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.